All right, all right. All right, this is the last one for this morning and I ain't gave y'all no music in a minute. So we gonna go first class and the soft tones together. Once I get finished the soft tones music and Unifics, we gonna explore the first class music. Their music is from the 70s timeline, 1970s soul and R&B music. I'm trying to bring the retro back, and give life to some love music, that the music that, you could, hold your girl hand and sing to her. I'm trying to bring that era back through the music and that feel, because this is what I like listening to. And, I'm a product of the 70s, I'm born 1970. So this is the music I grew up on. So when you a content creator, you need to do what reflects you. You need to create what reflects you, in your timeline of life and your journey. You know what I'm saying? And that could be if you 20 or you 30, you 11, you 12, whatever. Whatever that's going on with you or anything that you connected to, you know, you could tap into that and be creative and make it content. So I love and I grew up on listening to soul music from the 70s. As I stated, my uncle is from the group, the Choice Four, straight out of DC, straight out of Eastern High School. They was discovered by Van McCoy, the guy that made the song Do the Hustle. Do. You look it up. You know what I'm talking about. I just feel like I gotta say that every time I mention that because you don't know what I'm talking about. Most likely you don't, but those that's in the know, you know what I'm talking about. So let's get into it. This will be my last one. Then I'm out to go spend a day with my son up, on his college campus, and we hanging out. All right, let's go. Space Cadet. That's the feature song by the Softones and what is First Class. All right, let's go. Hope you like it. Space Cadet, Space Cadet. I wanna be a Space Cadet, Space Cadet, Space Cadet. I wanna be a Space Cadet. So you wanna be a Space Cadet? Yes, sir. You got the move with the groove. Yes, sir. You got the party hardy. Yes, sir. Can hear yes, sir. You. Yes, sir. Let's see what trying to sink in your whistle with you. Then you learn to jump up on a time. The best assignment will be on the dance floor. The best cadets will be on the front line. Oh, yeah. Join us right away. You got to party hard You know, the 70s was also the era of disco. You know, so this what this sound like. This more of a disco dance tune right here. So just imagine, you know, you at the spot, you at a club with bell bottom jeans on, with the butterfly collar shirts, you know, with bushes and everything. You know, that was the era. That was the look. Okay, a space cadet. I'm trying to figure out what he's saying. You know, I mean, a space cadet to me means somebody that's high all the time, right? All right. Huh, man. Softones and First Class. Space Cadet. All right, that was a unique song because that was two groups singing that song, and also that was some disco music. You know, a lot of y'all don't even remember disco music. Uh, you know, that was like a 70s timeline and time frame when that type of music was popular, and I'ma say to maybe 86, that's when it completely faded out because rap music was on the scene and it took over. And uh you ain't hear no more about disco because rap became the new entity of music that was influenced by the young culture, the youth, which was my age group at the time. I was in my teens. I was 16 in 1986. So, you know, uh, disco fade out. So, I just like to revisit what, I came up on, honestly, Softones, Unifics, that's my Uncle Bobby that was in the Choice Four soul group back in the day. These are his two favorite groups that uh I'm like immersing myself into their music, and I want to put their whole catalog on my content, one song at a time, and I hope you guys appreciate it and you really enjoy it, and just let yourself float back to the 80s and the 70s. And somebody said something that I really agree with. YouTube and social media is like a time machine, a time capsule, if you will. you know uh you could go back in time in life and just you know I was taught, when you read a book, let your imagination fall into the book and put yourself in the timeline and in the moment. I do that with movies, so when I reflect and when I read and when I watch movies, when I watch people content, I try to imagine myself in that moment, So, uh, you know, and that's what excites me about stories and history, because I try to put myself there and try to really experience it, by immersing myself into that time. If that sound, you know, uh, uh, you know, that might sound strange to some people, but you basically engage. That's basically what that means. Don't just read it to be reading it, or don't watch a movie just to be watching it, but really engage yourself into it. Like, whatever that's taking place, how would you do something different? You know, uh, you know, you know, like what kind of car you would have been driving, if you was in, the movie or whatever. I'm just saying, basically, let your imagination really, uh, you know, put you in the timeline of that movie. I used to go to work on Mondays because I used to be a real movie buff, me and my son. And we used to go to movies on the weekend when he was small, and we would see like three movies from 1 to 6 o'clock. We wouldn't come out that joint, the Magic Johnson, and wherever the movies that I saw, that wherever they're in the world that they were taking place, when I would engage in conversation at my employment, people would say, "Well, what you do this weekend?" I'd be like, "What I did, I was in New York, then I caught a flight to London, and then I came back and went to LA." And each one of these movies, that's where the the movie took place at and the action or whatever, so and so I would really have people going, and my man that my mentor Nestor Holmes, he be laughing like they really believe you. But I tell the story so vividly, from what I saw in the movies, that they really believe that I went to these places. Maybe not all three. I would probably take out of the three movies the best movie out of the three. And I would tell that story of the movie that, hey, this is what I did this weekend, you know. So to me, through my mind, that was my adventure. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I'm wired and that's how I think. So um I often say if I could do it over, I would be a history professor because I love history. I love information. And this is such a perfect platform for me to display what I like to do. And sometimes you don't necessarily have to get a paycheck for things you love or like to do. So I get to do it. I get to talk to people, on a platform about history that I'm interested about, and it's positive, because some people, they want to get radical, they want to get religious, they want to get, real aggressive about religion or history and um I don't want to do that. I want to uplift. I want to promote positivity, and I'm not here to throw smut around. I'm not the gossip. I'm the opposite of Tasha K. At the end of the day, we ain't doing all that. And but salute to her and Wendy Williams and people like her, the gossip papers, TMZ, and all that. That's what they do, and I like seeing stuff like that, but I don't want to be a part of it, because that ain't my forte. And then to a degree that becomes overwhelming where, I'll be like, all right, that's enough. Like the news. You get depressed watching the news with all the violence and everything going on. Just like yesterday, the lady that got killed sitting in a car a week ago got shot by a stray bullet. That was in my mother neighborhood down the street. And from my mother neighborhood, Miss Pat. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. How these jokers, you don't get who you going to get. You just busting and you hitting innocent people. You took somebody's mother away. She has a grandson, 7 years old, that she take care of. Now this boy got going foster care. That was his only family member left. Her daughter got on drugs real bad, and God knows where she at, and she don't know who the dad was. This is what I'm hearing, allegedly. So when the mother took off, the grandmother, she left the baby with the grandmother, and now he was with her and said the bullet missed him by inches and hit her. So this is what I'm talking about. They got a $40,000 award out for whoever turned this youngin in. They say he about 14 or 15. They got a picture of him, but he masked up. But somebody gonna turn that ass in and get that 40,000. So your time is limited. You better get on out of DC, whoever you is. You know what I'm saying? And don't come back. You know, because there's no statutation timeline on murder. It could be 20 years. If they know you did it, somebody could call the police and say, this the man, this the youngin'. Yeah, that's him. You know what I'm saying? And if they roll that tape back and they match you up, and if they can find reasonable, no probable cause that it was you when somebody said it was you, yeah, so you better get out of town, whoever you is. Get out of town and stay out of town. But guess what? A lot of these jokers ain't been out of DC. So where you going? Other than the Maryland or Virginia. Just like Alpo, he couldn't stay away because he don't know nothing else far as long term. Because he never lived nowhere else other than in jail. So if you haven't traveled, even if you have, it's not it's not okay to be where nobody know you when you crave for attention. I think that's what was Alpo's problem right there. You like the limelight, you like to be around folks that know you, and you like the attention. And that's what kept bringing you back to Harlem. And then somebody smoked your boots. But I don't even believe he did for real. So whoever you is, you need to turn yourself in or get out of town and stay out of town. All right, man. I'm getting ready to go enjoy my day. And you guys do the same thing, man. And this big day, like, share, subscribe. Thank you, Deneen, on the other video for chiming in and subscribing. You was my 50th subscriber. Thank you so much. So all I need now is 950. So we gonna get there. It's all good. My year anniversary on here will be June 1st, and that's when I started. And it's all good, man. I'm gonna dress up for y'all, and I'm gonna have some cake and ice cream, and it's what it is. So look, Big Day, Streets Finest, like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to holler. Peace.